Welcome one and all to today's Konar episode. My name is Tryhard Casual and I'll be your host today. On today's episode, we're killing Waterfiends in the Kraken Cove. So a lot of players probably aren't super familiar with Waterfiends. They're not a common task and a lot of people don't see a reason to kill them. I mean, myself included, this will be the first time I've ever had to kill them. But don't worry, I've done my due diligence, I did all the research, so I'm gonna go over everything you need to know about doing this task. Now, the more observant people out there might have noticed I'm using RuneLite and not the vanilla client. I typically try and use the vanilla client as much as possible, but I wanted to up the production value of this a little bit just on my Konar videos, and it just really helps being on RuneLite for some of the statistics I'm going to add later in the video. But if you absolutely cannot stand it, just let me know and I can go back to using the regular client. And remember, I have a whole bunch of other Konar videos if you want to check out some other monsters. But we can hop into this one right now. Alright, so when you have Waterfiends on a task, you can go with either melee or range for your combat style. Waterfiends are actually much more weak to crush rather than any other attack, so that's why I'm going to bring melee instead of range on this one personally. Beyond that, Waterfiends attack with magic-based range and just regular magic. So because of that, we want to have magic defensive gear in our chest and leg slot. I'm going to touch a little bit more on this later, but if you bring range gear, you're also going to want to pray range the entire task. If you're bringing melee, you might be able to get away without prayer if you're a high enough level, but if you're not close to max combat stats, I might pray range as well, even with melee. It's going to be different for everyone, so it's just something you want to be aware of. So let's go through my inventory and talk about what I'm bringing and why I'm bringing it. For my spec weapon, I'll have a Ceradome and Godsword. I mean, in all of RuneScape, there's not really a great crush spec weapon, so I'm just going to bring this and it'll probably be alright. I'm also going to have 3 Divine Super Combat Potions. I assume the task will take less than an hour, so that's why I'm only going to bring 3. Now, like I said, I'm going to try and not pray range on this task and not use any prayer. So because of that, I'm going to have a bunch of lobsters with me just to heal if I need to. If you didn't want to deal with healing and food as much, as an alternative you can just bring more prayer potions and then camp range prayer the entire time. But beyond that, for the loot, we're going to have a gem bag, an herb sack, a seed box. You could probably get away with not having a seed box though. To help us get there, we're going to have a Drayman staff. I'm also going to bring a lot of high alchs in my rune pouch because I know Waterfiends drop a lot of alchables. And lastly, I'm going to have a house teleport to get out. Looking at the map, there's actually only a handful of ways to get there. Kraken Cove will be on the west coast, so I think a fairy ring is definitely the best way there and the fastest. But if you don't have that for some reason, I guess a Piscatoris teleport or a Western Banner teleport can also work. Once you actually go inside, the Waterfiends are located in these little offshoots from the main cave. It actually doesn't really matter which one you pick because they all have a lot of Waterfiends in them. Okay, so we're down here in the Kraken Cove, but there's actually nothing else to go over. We can just start this task and I can see you at the end to go over all the statistics and that good stuff. Alright, that'll be my first Waterfiend task ever completed, so pats on the back, all around. What I have here in the price guide is actually our supply cost. This is everything I used while I was on the task. And by the way, it took us 48 minutes to do all of those Waterfiends. That's not too bad. Anything under an hour is nice, I think. Now to see what we actually got for our loot, we got a solid 440k from all the drops, because I did pick everything up. But if we do some simple math, our net profit is going to be 357k. So for 48 minutes, that's not too bad. We also got a hard clue scroll, and I accidentally already opened up the brimstone chest, which gave me these dragon arrows, which is another 43k. I just want to thank you guys for making it this far in the video. If you want to help out the channel, a like or a subscription really goes a long way. Those numbers are just tremendously helpful for growing everything and helping me out. But that's it. I hope you guys found the guide useful and it helped you out a little bit. Be sure to tune in for the future Konar Slayer episodes, and I'll see you in the next one.